What's up, Internet? It's your boy, the True Dark Magician, back again. Today I've left the sanctity of my Sanctum Sanctorum to bring you Springfield Comic Con! Whoa! Springfield Comic Con, the first of its kind, the first, hopefully not the last, comic book convention in my hometown of Springfield, Mass. And today I'm going to be showing you everything you can't see because you're not here. So strap yourselves in the internet and get excited.
Are you filming now?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're a podcast also. Do you consider yourself a podcast or a YouTube show?
YouTube show.
YouTube?
Yeah.
So yeah, similar, right? I just get to talk to people from like Marvel Studios, DC, lots of different people in film and television. So it's really fun. And right now, like I said, in like an hour, the segment will go live with Mark Pellegrino, and then there's a second segment filmed for Springfield Comic Con with Brandon Spink, who played young Bruce Wayne in Batman v Superman, and Ray Porter, who played Darkseid in Justice League.
Neat.
So, yeah, all that's happening today, and it's San Diego Comic Con Day.
Yeah.
Lots of news.
Lots of news.
Hopefully Henry Cavill comes back as Superman.
Didn't they already announce it?
No.
They didn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
I'm back again with local artist No Inso. He's gonna talk a little bit about his art, what he does, what he loves, and where he's from.
How y'all doing? I'm No Inso. I'm a digital artist, comic book artist. Basically, this is what you got here. I usually work at Clip Studio. Yeah, I transfer Clip Studio to Photoshop. Sometime I do like doing hand drawing though. At times. I hope you all are having a good time at the Springfield Comic Con. If you're not here, make it here next year. And yeah, keep drawing.
One thing that I've always loved about cons is they give local artists time to shine. Today only, you can get this exclusive print by Inso, made for the New England Ghostbusters. It was only $5, which isn't bad, and the money goes to a good cause.
Yes, please. And you don't want to buy from me? Please go to the Ghostbuster, buy the print, go to a good cause, charity. Really do appreciate it.
So hey internet, taking another break now. I am here with a man that was on the ground floor. This is comic book royalty. I know I say that a lot, but this is Jim freaking Shooter. And here we have an original cell from one of his original creations, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Now, you might not remember, but when I was a kid, I used to watch reruns of this, like whenever it was on, because this was like my first exposure to a comic book team. You got 3 characters, an X-Men, a guy who swings from webs, and an original female character. And you got the guy who made it right here, Mr. Jim Shooter. So Mr. Shooter, tell the internet who you are, where you're from, what you do, and who you love.
Jim Shooter. I've been in the comic book business a long time. I worked at Marvel for a long time. I had Stan Lee's old job. He was involved with the animation, movies, and TV, and I ran the publisher. But we worked collegially a lot. He'd help me all the time. I learned a lot from him. And then one time I was out in Los Angeles. His office, he moved, after 2 years, he moved his office to Los Angeles because he was doing more business with Hollywood. And so we'd send each other telegrams and mailograms all the time, on the phone all the time. Among the things we would do is I'd always send him a birthday telegram or some little funny thing, and he'd send me funny things. So one time I was out in LA and happened to had business at the production studio and stopped by Stan's office just to say hi. And we were chatting for a few minutes, and he said, "Oh, I have to go do a pitch to NBC for a Spider-Man cartoon show." I said, "Well, I'll see you later." And he said, "No, I want you to come with me." Okay, so we went together and we did the pitch together, and we sold it. And we walked out of there high-fiving because that's kind of a big deal.
How did you go?
Sorry about that.
So anyway, Stan says, "Well, I want you to come with me." So we went to this meeting with the NBC Saturday morning executives, and we did the pitch together, and we sold it. And we walked out of there high five. It's just kind of a big deal, you know. And that's why we took a cell from that show. It's an actual animation cell, and it has. He wrote on it. The Dr. Doom's conquering New York. Who cares? It's Shooter's birthday. It signs Excelsior, Stanley. It's really pretty cool. It's really cool. And I'm really glad that like I say, the special part of it was that we sold the show together. Although when we sold it, it was a Human Torch or a Firestar. But then the network censored said, no, you can't have anybody bursting into flame. A little kid's show. So Steve and the guys at the studio invented Firestar to replace it. Took it in kind of a different direction than we originally imagined. But it's okay. It came out fine. I mean, a lot of people see this show and say, "Oh, that was my favorite show." So I guess it worked out pretty well.
Back again. I have got comic book legend Mike Decarlo here, artist extraordinaire.
That's the word I was going to use. Keep going.
Artist
Sorry.
extraordinaire. He's worked on, oh man, too many numerous things to count. Some of my favorite stuff is he was in Marvel back in the day. A theme going on today at Springfield Comic Con. A lot of Marvel, a lot of love for Marvel. Not so much for DC, but ton of love for Marvel. And I know me, I'm all about the love. So tell us about who you are, where you're from, what you do, who you love, man.
Well, I was born in New Haven, Connecticut, and that is where I reside now. Started in comics about 1980, mostly for DC for the 80s. Green Lantern, Legion of Superheroes, Warlord, Teen Titans, of course Batman.
Did you work on the Judas? Did you work on the Judas contract?
Yes, I did.
Oh man,
And
Judas contract.
yes. And then I branched out while still working at DC, and I did Iron Man, Conan, Thor, a few others for Marvel. Then I also began to do work for Disney and The Simpsons.
Oh, a lot of people are saying that. What'd you do for The Simpsons?
I drew the Simpson comic book for about 15 years. And now I don't really do monthly comic books anymore. I just do a lot of freelance commercial work, work for hire from private collectors. I do an internet strip for a hedge fund manager, and I am working on a graphic novel for a client in Europe.
Tell us a little about that.
Well, it's called Trinity. I designed the whole thing. I'm doing the pencils and inks, and the client is located out of Monaco, and as soon as I'm done, they will circulate it all through Europe and into the United States. And I do a lot of traveling. I do a lot of comic shows, like this one here in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I think that pretty much capsulizes what I need to say, unless you have another question.
Well, real quick for the internet, what were some of your favorite key issues you worked on for Marvel or DC?
Well, I was very happy to work on Iron Man. I did that for about half a year. I spent about 2 years on Thor, about a year on Conan, and I did a lot of, issue here, issue there, everything from the Fantastic Four to a lot of annual work. And for for DC, I'd have to say my time on Batman was the most fruitful and probably the most memorable of the things I worked on.
During the 80s, was that still during the bullpen era, when you guys were all still working in the office in New York, just all drawing together in one big room?
No, that had pretty much seen its time. That was mostly the 60s and 70s. They both still had bullpen people, but the artists mostly worked out of home, and then mailed it in or commuted it in. So.
I am super fascinated just about that area because we don't do it anymore. Everybody works from home now. Everybody like rents out an office or works like in a public space. Nobody just works together. It's not that huge pull of like creative genius just working in like one central area, just bouncing ideas off each other, helping each other out. So we have the internet, but still, that's still miles of separation between the two. You guys were like in the same room, just talking about ideas in real time, not waiting for emails or phone calls.
Yeah, I was about the last. I was in the studio as late as '95. I shared it with 3 other artists. Amongst them was Dick Giordano.
Ooh.
And that was about the end. See, by then everything became digital communication. You could scan your artwork and digitally send it anywhere. So it didn't matter where you lived anymore. And emails and, streaming video communication. It's a different world, so you had to change with it.
So there you are, internet. He was there at the end of an era. So where can people find your stuff? Online?
Well, I have a Patreon site, Mike Decarlo Art Patreon. I have MikeDecarloArt.com. I'm very active on Facebook.
Look for the link.
.com. It is patreon.com/Mike Decarlo Art. And look for me on Facebook. And email is Mike DeCarlo, all lowercase, 57@gmail.com. So, got plenty of ways to talk to me or get in communication or access me, and I'm happy to do this interview. What's your first name? I'm sorry.
I'm the True Dark Magician at YouTube. You could just call me Chandler.
All right. Happy to do this with Chandler, and I wish everybody well.
All right.
Thank you very much.
That was the first and hopefully not the last Springfield Comic Con. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to sign out. It's hot, it's tired, and I'm told we're at full capacity. So I'm going to leave and let somebody else come in. So until next time, Internet, be good to yourselves and one another. And like usual, keep unboxing. Look for my next unboxing video that's coming soon. And links to everybody I interviewed, links to their information is in the description below. So check that out. It's really good. So I will see you on the next one, Internet. Bye.